The laughter still echoes in my head. My mom's, my dad's, even my brother's, all laughing so hard that night they could barely breathe. And it was all because I said 6 simple words. I'm starting my own candle business. Candles, my brother Tyler snorted. What's next, Leah? Selling air. They howled. My mom wiped tears from her eyes. My dad shook his head. You've got a college degree, and you're making wax toys. I remember standing there, clutching my little notepad full of ideas, cheeks burning. I had quit my job at the local diner after saving for months, dreaming of building something that was mine. But all I got that night was mockery, the kind that digs deep into your bones. What they didn't know was that their laughter would become my fuel. Every smirk, every sarcastic, "How's business, boss lady?" I stored it like ammunition. That night, I didn't cry. I wrote 3 words in my journal: they'll work for me. And someday, they would. But before that could happen, I had to survive the hardest year of my life. I was 27, living in a small apartment above a bakery in Ohio. Rent was cheap, the air always smelled like fresh bread, and I was determined to make something out of myself. My parents, though, saw me as a failure. You see, in my family, success meant stability, a 9 to 5, a steady paycheck, maybe a corporate ladder if you were lucky. My older brother Tyler worked in finance, my dad was a contractor, and my mom ran a small salon. Me? I'd always been the creative one, the dreamer who never fit their mold. I'd saved about $4,000 after 2 years of double shifts at a diner, and I wanted to invest it into something that would finally give me control. Candles had always been a comfort to me. I made my first one at 14, after my parents' ugly fight. I remember melting wax to drown out their shouting. The warm scent of vanilla became my escape. That small comfort became my obsession. I studied fragrances, took online courses, and started testing formulas in my tiny kitchen. My walls were covered in sticky notes and scent combinations. I believed in it. I felt it. But my family didn't see effort, they saw foolishness. And the night I told them I'd quit my job to pursue this full-time, they didn't just laugh. My mom said, "You'll come crawling back when you realize bills don't get paid with dreams." Spoiler, I never crawled back. But I did make her eat those words. My relationship with my family had always been complicated. They loved me, sure, but only when I was easy to love, when I fit their version of success. Tyler, especially, never missed a chance to remind me I was the artsy failure. He'd drive up in his shiny Tesla, bragging about bonuses, while I was scraping candle wax off my counter. Every family dinner turned into a humiliation contest. Dad would say, "You find any customers for those candles yet?" Mom would sigh dramatically. "Maybe you should apply at my salon, help at the counter at least." And Tyler? He'd smirk and whisper, "Try it, see, it's full of broke dreamers like you." I laughed it off, but inside, it burned. Every jab pushed me further, made me stay up later, mix longer, experiment harder. I learned photography, branding, even marketing, things I'd never imagined I could do. Then came the family reunion. Everyone was there, cousins, uncles, people I hadn't seen in years. I brought a few of my candles as gifts, hoping to show them how serious I was. But when my aunt opened hers and wrinkled her nose, Tyler laughed out loud. "Guess that one's expired already." That laughter filled the room. I excused myself, went to the bathroom, and stared at my reflection. That was the night I decided. I wasn't chasing their approval anymore. I was going to outgrow them. A few months later, something unbelievable happened. A small influencer on Instagram featured my candles in a post. Orders started trickling in. Then more. Soon, I was making $300 a week, not much, but enough to prove it wasn't a joke. For the first time, I felt hope. Then, out of nowhere, my mom called. "Leah, honey, maybe you were right," she said sweetly. "Could you make me some for my salon? Clients might like them." I was thrilled. I made 50 candles, discounted the price, and hand-delivered them. She promised she'd pay after they sold. Weeks passed. Then I saw something that shattered me. I walked into her salon one afternoon and saw my candles, with her logo slapped on them. She'd scraped off my labels, replaced them with Luxe Glow by Angela. I froze. "Mom, what is this?" She smiled like nothing was wrong. "Relax, sweetheart. It's just business. I'm helping you get exposure." Exposure. That word hit like a punch. She'd stolen my work and turned it into hers. That night, I didn't sleep. I wrote one word in my journal: build. I wanted to quit. I really did. Seeing my own mother profit off my dream broke something in me. But quitting would have meant they were right. So I went silent. No posts. No texts. I blocked them all and focused like never before. I started watching business podcasts, reading marketing books, studying how brands told stories. I realized something: people don't just buy candles, they buy feelings. Comfort, peace, nostalgia. So I rebranded everything. My line became Kindled Light Company. Every candle came with a note that said, "For when they don't believe in you." Orders exploded. TikTok caught on. A video of me pouring wax to prove them wrong music went viral. 10K sales in a month. Then one night, I got a text. "Tyler, yo, Leah, saw your business. You're doing okay, huh? Maybe you can make candles for my company's holiday party." I smiled. "Sure," I replied. But I didn't tell him that I was already negotiating with his company's biggest competitor. Life was about to turn point. 6 months later, Kindled Light Company was in 3 major online stores. I had a small warehouse, 2 employees, and a deal pending with a big home decor chain. The same people who'd called me foolish were suddenly quiet. One evening, my dad called. "Hey, Leah. Your mom says you're doing well. Proud of you, kiddo." I should have been happy, but all I heard was guilt. Where were they when I couldn't pay rent? Still, I kept it professional. I told him I was planning to expand, needed more staff. He said, "Well, your mom's salon isn't doing great. Maybe she can help out part-time." I nearly laughed. The woman who'd stolen my products wanted a job from me. I didn't say no. I said, "Tell her to send me a resume." The silence on the phone was delicious. The day my mom showed up, I'll never forget it. She wore her usual smile, that fake, polite one she used whenever she wanted something. "Leah, honey. This is so impressive," she said, looking around the warehouse. "Thanks," I replied, barely glancing up from my laptop. "The position you applied for is inventory and retail support. You'll need to clock in at 9. Her face dropped. "You're hiring me for this?" "Yes," I said calmly. "You said it's just business, right?" The color drained from her face. I should have felt bad, but I didn't. Not after she'd taken advantage of me. Not after the years of mockery. Later that day, I got a text from Tyler. "Can you hire me too? My company's downsizing." I laughed so hard I nearly cried. 2 months later, both of them were working in my warehouse. At first, I reveled in it. Watching my mom label boxes while I reviewed contracts was poetic. Tyler managed shipping, the same man who'd once mocked me for playing with wax. They were polite now. Respectful. But something about it started to feel hollow. I caught my mom staring at me once, not angry, just sad. She whispered, "I never thought you'd actually make it." "I know," I said quietly. "That's why I had to." We didn't talk much after that. Tyler tried to lighten things, cracking jokes, but I could tell even he felt the weight of it. Success had flipped the script, but it didn't erase the pain. I wasn't that broken girl anymore, but I wasn't entirely healed either. Then one evening, a stranger walked into my warehouse, an investor. He wanted to buy Kindled Light Company for $2.8 million. My whole life flashed before me. Every insult. Every sleepless night. Every laugh. I didn't tell my family right away. I signed an NDA and negotiated quietly. For weeks, I pretended everything was normal while I finalized the sale. Then, one Friday afternoon, I called a staff meeting. My mom and Tyler stood among the employees, clueless. "I have an announcement," I said, voice steady. "Kindled Light Company has been acquired by Lumina Brands. Effective today." Gasps. Applause. My mom's mouth fell open. Tyler whispered, "Wait, how much?" I smiled. "Enough." I gave every employee, including them, a bonus check. My mom cried when she saw the amount. Tyler hugged me for the first time in years. But I didn't tell them the full truth. The deal wasn't just a sale. It included an executive role for me at Lumina. And a clause that allowed me to franchise the company name, meaning my family would still work under me. A week later, my mom came to my office, nervous, teary-eyed. "I just want to say I'm proud of you," she whispered. "And I'm sorry. I didn't realize I hurt you that much." I looked at her, the same woman who once replaced my labels with hers, and said, "I forgive you. But I'll never forget." She nodded, tears spilling down. Tyler joined us, sheepish. "Guess we were wrong, huh?" "You were," I said softly. "But it's okay. You taught me something no business book ever could, that belief is lonelier than doubt. But it's stronger, too." That night, I walked through the warehouse one last time, before handing it to my new management team. Every box, every cent, every label, a piece of me. I'd built my empire from their laughter. Now they worked beneath my name. It's been 2 years since that night. My brand is global now, stocked in stores I used to dream of shopping at. But sometimes, when I light one of my candles, Vanilla Bean, the very first scent I ever made, I think back to that night in the kitchen, to my family's laughter. Funny thing is, I'm not angry anymore. I'm grateful. Because without their disbelief, I'd never have had something to prove. I visit my parents every Sunday now. My mom still helps at the warehouse part-time, though now she proudly says, "I work for my daughter." Tyler jokes about being the employee of the month. It's peaceful now. But every time I smell that faint hint of wax and vanilla, I smile. Because I remember the girl who once stood there, shaking with embarrassment, and I whisper, "You did it." And maybe, just maybe, I light one for every person who's ever been laughed at for dreaming too small.